Sounds as though a lot of the programs that you're describing are based on real research data. Could you give us some idea of a couple of the studies that you have conducted yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So just to follow up on the last topic, which is goal behavior, there what we've done is actually run it by now with multiple types of companies, including insurance companies. But let me take one example, which was a coffee chain that had multiple cafeterias on the Columbia University campus as well as in Manhattan, off campus. And we did a very simple study in that case, but very real world, with real customers, real purchases. People received a received a card that had 10 slots in it, and you had to buy 10 coffees and get one free. And each time you would buy a coffee, the employee would stamp the card. We knew when you got the card, we knew when you bought each coffee, if you redeemed the card, if you got another card, we knew everything about purchase behavior of a few thousand customers. And what we found is that the time it took people to visit the store, the cafeteria, sorry, the chain of these cafeterias, the time in between each purchase got shorter and shorter as they got closer to the goal. In fact, between the first and second stamp, it took people on average 2.5 days. Towards the end, people would take only about 2.5, 2.6 days. So they accelerated their purchase by 20%. And you can do a simple kind of back of the envelope ROI calculation and find that for one free coffee, they would buy 2 more in a period of about 25 days. So they're really changing their behavior. What I mentioned about the illusionary goal progress, we did that also in that case. In other cases, the employees would give people either a 10 stamp card or a 12 stamp card. So one card said buy 10 coffees, the second card said buy 12 coffees. Different people got different cards, but the card with the 12 coffees, the first 2 slots were already stamped. So effectively you had to buy 10 coffees in both cases, only in the latter case you feel like you have this illusionary goal progress. We found that people on average completed the same 10 coffee purchases 3 days faster in the latter case. So whereas it took them about 15 to 16 days on average to finish 10 coffees when they got a 10 stamp card, when they got a 12 stamp card with the first 2 slots stamped, it took them about 13 days. And this effect was replicated in a pizzeria, car wash, by colleagues. In the industry, there's insurance companies now that are using it, telecoms that are using it. And so we think it's a robust effect.
What do you think is the future of incentive programs?
That's a great question. I think some incentive systems will build more, to be honest, and maybe not humble, but will build more and more on these principles. So we'll see more and more incentive systems that have more and more feel of intrinsic motivation in them, and more and more sophisticated use, not necessarily complex, but sophisticated use of a goal system. And a structuring system and statuses and so on and so forth. Obviously, there's a big trend on mobile and wireless, and so we might get some interesting loyalty programs there. I think we'll see more of these programs in non-traditional areas. So like I mentioned, recycle back and recycling. I think we'll see it also maybe in healthcare. We'll see companies making money off incentivizing people to live a healthier life. That would be one interesting direction. But I think we're going to continue to see a lot of them, and it's not going to go away anytime soon.